My life has taken another turn again.
Yeah, the local stuff comes in all shapes and forms. Radiotron 36 with Travis B. Taxi Driver. Radiotron 36. Local stuff here on Spinout. Hey, listen, they have arrived in the building. We're going to give them a few minutes to towel off and get a bottle of sparkling water and, kind of mellow out and get all cooled off and ready to speak to the masses. Talking about Lost on Liftoff. We'll get to them in a little bit to prep you up. The new EP is out. This is track number 2. It be Black Ties and Limousines on Spinout. .94 WCYY, Portland's new rock alternative. It is Spinout. I'm Mark with a K, and that bunch of slop right there. Rocking, good stuff. Lost on Liftoff, of course, right there. We've been playing Black Ties and Limousines on Spinout. You've been hearing 40 Miles during the day on CYY. Matter of fact, oh, wow. You realize I got the number one band on the top 5 at 5 in here. For second day in a row, Lost on Liftoff is number 1 here on the top 5 with 40 Miles. And I was able to get through to their people and their press agents and book a little bit of time with them tonight. So we got a couple. We were able to lasso a couple of guys in here. Walt is here. Hello, Walt.
Hello. What's going on?
Chilling. Shane is here.
How you doing?
You guys gonna do an Everly Brothers on that, or are we gonna try this other mic? You want to just do that?
This mic seems better.
Okay, we'll do the Everly Brothers. And well, we got to give a big hello to our good buddies Shifty and Nick, not here, but doing well, and they're expected to play in tomorrow night's big game.
Yeah.
So
Super Bowl. Rock.
Yes. Well, welcome, guys. This is
thank you.
This is very cool. It's nice to have you guys in here and knowing about this project for a while, and it's just cool. I'm coming up on a year of hosting Spinout and seeing some bands that talking about their records. Oh, we're working on this, or this is coming out, and then having them in the studio down the line. It's a real treat for me. Obviously, this one is very special, sweet for me, and it's great to see you guys in here, and it's great to see you two guys back in here, talking music again, talking about a release that you guys were a part of.
Yeah.
So, welcome back. Well, EP is out in stores. The band, as we know it, with these 4 guys, is just about not quite a year old. Shane.
Not even.
Yeah.
I mean, when Walt joined in April. April. Yeah. So that's how long it's been. Not even a year. I mean, the band started before it was Nick and I actually got it off the ground with this gentleman named Mike Hamlin, and he would jam with us for a while, and we wrote a lot of songs, and Mike bailed out at this certain time, and at that time, 6 Gig had just broken up, and Walt jumped in. That was it.
That was a bum deal.
Yeah. It was good for us. I mean, it was good timing.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, Shane. You ready for this?
Yeah. I'll pull the mic in nice and close.
Obviously, we know that this guy is a hot ticket over here.
Right.
I mean, when it comes to Portland and Maine, when it comes to local music, Walt's right up there. I mean, let's face it, he's one of the heavy hitters. Everybody knows Walt. All the bands he's been a part of have been fantastic.
That's right.
Was there any doubt? Did you think to yourself, you know what, as cool as he could be, maybe he's not the right guy? Or did you, as soon as you knew he was available, were you guys kind of like, oh, this is it? We're going to force ourselves to like this because he is the man? To
be honest, I wasn't sure about him singing because I liked Nick singing so much. Nick was singing and was doing a great job. But Nick didn't like to sing, and he didn't like singing, and then I'm like, well, when Mike left, I'm like, well, Walt would probably be great on guitar. We should definitely try him out vocally, but I wasn't sure, and obviously a lot of people know me from playing around town. I took some time off, but Walt is one of 2 people I would want to play with as singers, that or Pete of Twisted Roots. I always admired his singing, but I wasn't sure if it would fit this stuff, and we knew when we recorded, basically one of his auditions was right in the studio. And I remember, I'll never forget, it was one of the best moments of my musical life. When Walt started singing, John Wyman and Nick and I were just looking at each other going, man, it was just awesome. Yeah. And I knew right then and there, I'm like, wow, we really got something.
Boy, I don't even know if I can talk to this guy now. His face is matching his hair at this point. This is crazy. Nice. Walt, and your impressions and your vibe on the first meeting. I mean, coming from you, we're talking about coming from Goot's Thumb, arguably one of the best local records of all time. 6 Gig, one of the biggest local bands of all time. You're one of the bands that did break through. You had like a bar set up pretty high, man. And to go into this project, what were your feelings? Kind of nervous, scared, just excited, refreshed to do something different?
Well, I mean, I was excited. At the time that Nick called me, I was sort of enjoying time off, to be honest with you. Six Gig started rolling in like in '99, and it was sort of casual the first few months. But once we got stuff recorded and we started putting stuff out, just huge snowball effect, and it was just like gigs recording, touring. Like I just had no free time. Of course I loved it the whole time, but towards the end of Six Gig, when it was finally over, and I didn't, there was no rehearsals or no gigs, I was enjoying just hanging out, going to see my friends' bands, not, worrying about whatever before the show. I could just chill. So when Nick called me, I was really, I've known Nick for a long time, and I've heard a bunch of his recordings and the other bands he's been in, and so I was flattered that he called me and said, "Hey, you want to check out some of our stuff?" And he dropped off a CD, and immediately I was like, "Wow, the songs that they had given me to listen to were amazing." So I just I called Nick and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm in." But going back to what Shane was saying, I had no really preconceived idea of what was going to happen. I just went down there to play guitar. You know what I mean? Like Shane was saying, Nick is a great singer. So I was just assuming that he was going to sing. But when I get down there, he's like, "Do you want to sing?" I was like, "Sure." So
yeah. Was there a lot of relief, a lot of pressure, you coming into it thinking a lot of the weight isn't going to be on me because Nick wrote great songs. Nick's super talented. Did that make you feel a little bit better coming into it, that what, it's not going to be the focus on me coming from a great local band to it's all about Craven? No, you get Nick writing some great stuff. You get Shane, one of the best drummers around. You get Shifty on bass, who's he's done great things too, and people are going to soon catch him. So was it relief to you?
Yeah. I mean, there's something exciting about playing with a bunch of dudes that sort of have an identity of their own before I was even around. To be honest with you, I'm not really one of those guys that sits at home and writes complete songs all by myself. I really work best working with other people. So when I started hanging out and we started writing songs, I mean, the stuff was just immediately clicking, and so it was great.
That's sweet. What a just hassle-free, just magic. Doesn't happen much, right? Sometimes it's a little forced, and this thing just...
at the same time, like we didn't, I mean, I don't know, what was going through these guys' minds, but as far as I was concerned, it was, it was sort of casual. I just showed up and we were playing some awesome songs, and I was... I didn't really think like, we're gonna, I'm in this to get signed. I just started playing with those guys, and it just sort of turned out to be great. And I think that's probably what happened. It sort of happens with any band, I suppose. That at least in my experience, I don't set out particularly to do anything except for write some songs and have fun.
Yeah.
And then if it clicks, and it just rolls by itself after that. So.
So you guys go in and you work with the whiz kid Wyman. I mean, geez, what a gloss! I mean, it's just it sounds fantastical.
Yeah.
John
Wyman is the man. I hope you're enjoying your six-pack.
Well, I mean, it sounds good, and then of course Rush is around the corner to our good folks here at the best mastering studio in the world.
Yeah.
Gets polished up.
Yeah.
This thing cover to cover is just it's a nice gem. Strong songs, sounds great. What were the intentions going into it? Making this is an EP. Was it making the full length, making the EP, not doing this, not doing that, or did making the record itself come out natural? So there was a lot of great songs that didn't make it on this one. There's some tough cuts, huh?
I think when we first recorded, we initially recorded 6 songs.
No. With those 2 sessions we did 8.
Oh, 8. So we've recorded 8 songs. Actually, the first couple of sessions we recorded 8 songs, and then we've recorded. We went down to Rhode Island and recorded a song. So, I mean, we have enough material to record to have put out a full length. But I think we just wanted to ease our way into it, you know, give people something that they can listen to over and over and over. I remember, like, when I first heard that first Twisted Roots, 3-song demo that was floating around town.
Yep.
You know, I listened to it over and over and over. You know, it's 3 songs, and they're great songs, and you just listen to them over and over and over. And I think that's, I don't think we set out to do that, but I think that's the, that's what we want to end up with. You know, these 4 songs where people will want to listen to them over and over and over. You know,
And plus, it's $5.
yeah, and you can keep it cheap.
Right.
And
There you go.
we know this town's a beer drinking town. You know, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to get people to spend $10. You know, especially if we're at a show. You know, selling CDs at a show.
Yep.
It's much easier for someone to, split with $5 than.
So you guys are trying to drive people away from drinking, is what you're doing. So
No, we're trying to make it more
drunk in town
conducive
is
to
like-
drinking.
We're capitalist pigs.
Right. So
Saying
if
there's
you-
one less beer to buy
Yeah.
the CD, but hey,
Buy
that's
this girl a shot and then buy one of our CDs is $10.
there you go.
You might get lucky, but you'll definitely have some good music.
You'll get lucky with the music.
Right.
Right on. That's a great thing. Sometimes there's too much information on CDs, and it's nice to hit home, and especially when all 4 songs are just total gems.
It's bring
also-
her home and play Naked and Wasted if you get both.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like a first date. It's like, how freaky is it to go out on a first date and all of a sudden, like, this chick's like laying out her whole life story and telling you stuff that you don't even really care about. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
first date, last date.
yeah.
But this is like more like getting coffee or something. You know what I mean? Like, get acquainted with us first.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's right.
Well, let's check something else from the Prudus band in town, Lost on Liftoff. This is from the EP. This is Naked and Wasted. This is your number 1 top 5 at 5 band right here. Spinout 94 WCYY.
Get your heart started.
Portland's new rock alternative, 94 WCYY. It's Spinout, Mark with a K. Lost on Liftoff is the name of the EP. Naked and Wasted is the track. Also the headline of the Portland Phoenix last week with these guys on the cover. Unreal how things are going for Lost on Liftoff. We're going to do a few things when we come back from the break. We'll talk more with Shane and Walter from the band, play more music, and trade recipes. Spinout CYY. 94 WCYY. Why we play Year of the Rabbit? Because we want to play Year of the Rabbit, man. It's great stuff. It's Ken Andrews. Plus, you got Lost on Liftoff up here. I know Ken Andrews, I'm a big fan of. And Walt, you're a Ken Andrews fanatic, whether it be Failure or The Replicants or On or Year of the Rabbit.
Anything he's ever done, it's amazing.
He's great, man. You got to spend a little time with Ken? You met up with Ken when you were out on the West Coast?
Yeah, I went out to his house. We were considering producers for the last 6 gig record, and he was on the list, and he was gracious enough to, have us come out to his place, and we hung out in his studio, and just talked about the record. We played some demos for him, told him kind of like what we wanted to do, and he was a cool guy, real mellow, real mellow kind of dude, but.
He's got that emo side, but not in like the jumping off the stage emo. I mean, real emo. I mean, when I saw them, they opened up with the Plain Song by The Cure. It blew my mind. And that's the emo side in him I see.
Yeah, he's a big 80s guy, Yeah. Did a bunch of stuff. I hear a lot of Depeche Mode and what he does. So
yeah.
He's one of my favorites of all time. I mean, Failure's just was the biggest influence, one of the biggest influences on me. When I first heard it, I couldn't believe it. I listened to that Fantastic Planet album for about a year and a half straight without listening to anything else. I'm not even exaggerating. It never came out of any place. If I went in my car, the CD came with me. If I was in the house, CD came with me. It was
nuts.
He's amazing.
Well, I mean, I hear some of what he does in Lost on Liftoff and in your stuff, and that's why I want to play that. When people ask me about the band and months back before there was something that was available, what are these guys about? Where they're like, I like to say, I mean, I'll throw that out there. I'll throw out, pick some Ken Andrews stuff. I'll throw out whatever. I don't always like to give associations, but if it's going to help somebody kind of understand, then I'm all for it. I'll say, you got that Jimmy Eat World maybe or Lost Prophets. It's punchy, but at the end of the day, this is modern rock, I believe. Was there anything else that influenced what you guys were doing? Because I mean, you all got. I mean, Shane, you're a metalhead background.
Yeah.
And Shifty's got a heavy background, although he seems to be shifting. We talked the other night. He's into a lot more of the melodic stuff, and Nick as well. Nick knows a thing or two about songs.
Yeah.
I think we're all well-rounded. We all listen to a lot of stuff. Nick's on a heavy Slipknot kick, and you know what I mean. Like, I mean, you just. Diversified kind of listening. Shifty too. I mean, Shifty listens to super heavy stuff. He turns me on to the newest. All my new music comes from Shifty. He's got his finger on the pulse. I don't know. Yeah. He's online. He's on iTunes.
You do too. I mean, you guys. Yeah. The both of you have collections that are just stupefying. And then the stuff you excrete is the stuff that I give a shot. Listen to it.
Right. We got jokes over here.
Yeah, right.
Shane, how's that going, by the way? Hey, if you guys don't know, too, Shane, you'll catch him down beating around the drum shop. You'll catch him, when he's got time, doing the Lost on Liftoff thing. But Shane's also one of the best local comics around here.
Yeah.
How's that going, man?
It's going great. I actually be down at the Comedy Connection the third weekend of February. I still tour around. I get out there. I go do a lot in New Hampshire and Massachusetts and Maine, of course. And when I'm fortunate, I get to go to Caribou and places like that.
Nice.
But, yeah. It's
so
great.
you keep things lively. That's the one thing I noticed seeing this band, being around this band a little bit, is that you guys have gelled. Very professionally, but you've gelled in a way that you guys are beyond the BS. You've all had some history.
Right.
Walt, obviously, we know your background. People might not know with Nick and Shifty. Those guys have been out there. They've been on the road. They've been around the major label stuff. And Shane, you've been in great bands as well, and you're around the big scene. So, is that why that there's such maturity here?
Yeah, I think it's experience. I mean, there's no attitude, there's no egos, there's no stupid, foolish pride that really rips a lot of bands apart. I mean, if anything will rip a band apart, it's drug or alcohol abuse, which there's none of. Nobody shows up with a six-pack. Everybody pays their rent on time. Everybody's responsible, and we go in and we work. That's what we do. There's no screwing around or joke telling or anything like that. We go in and we go to work. Yeah, we have our fun. You know what I mean? But I think that's what it is. It's a seasoning. We're seasoned players, and or at least those guys are. I'm just lucky enough to play with them, But it's a cool feeling. It's a professional feeling.
Yeah.
Professional gear, professional attitude. It's great.
Right on. This scene seems to be evolving every year. There's something new. I think we're maybe in a local music sweep where there's I think there's a tide turning. I think there's a new revolution. I think there's a new crop of local things that are starting to maybe turn around this way. What's your temperature on the music scene around here?
Oh yeah. Walt was talking about Stealing Skylight. Those guys are really good.
Yeah.
Sparks the Rescue I like a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really great stuff that's it's all coming. You know what I mean? It seems to sprout like every 3 years. You get this like, oh my God, all these great bands. It's pretty cool, but they're getting better from being in the scene as long as we have. I think, you know what I mean? But prior to this, maybe 5 years ago, there was like, or 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, there'd be like 2, 3 really good bands and then a bunch of other okay ones. And now there's just a ton of them.
Yeah.
That show that you had at the State Theater.
Yeah, class of 2005.
Yeah, man. I mean, there were some great bands on that bill.
Those are all good guys, man. And I was psyched that just after that show, people were coming up saying, never heard of Kosades, never heard of
those guys are
Covered
awesome.
Beads. And actually, you guys get the gigs. We'll get to all that coming up here in a little bit soon, too. You guys have been blown away at how people have taken to this. I mean, we mentioned earlier, you guys are number one in the top 5 at 5 for the past couple of days. You've been in the top 5 for over the past week. Let's cut the crap here. I mean, you listen to this, you knew people were going to dig it, but are you guys kind of, you kind of blown away? I mean, this thing is, people are really, really clamping for this band, man.
I'm just happy that people like it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blown away is sort of a strong term, I suppose, but I mean, I'm psyched and I'm flattered that people are digging it, you know what I mean? That's tall and short of it. I mean, it's always exciting when people start to call in and, request it. And, first band I was in, it would be great. All my friends would call, and call 4 or 5 times each all day. So, of course, now it's sort of taking off by itself. And
I blush.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I just blush. It's an awesome feeling.
Yeah.
It's an awesome feeling, and it's what we all kind of always wanted.
Yeah. Let me throw this to you real quick, Walt. Again, not to make the face any more redder than the hair. I know there's a lot of cats. I spent some time around you, if it was around the 6 gig days or now with this stuff. There's a lot of young bands and a lot of young cats that look up to you and have always been big 6 gig fans. And these are guys that are starting to get their thing together. And I think a lot of them look up to you in terms of, wow, these guys, I love them and they made something happen. What's your 2 cents to a lot of these newer bands that are coming up around here? You've been through quite a bit and you've experienced a lot. And again, we just talked about how I think that's making this thing a lot stronger from the get-go. What do you have to, what do you say to a lot of these local bands around here that are trying to make it happen?
Well, I mean, don't be afraid to, shamelessly self-promote. You know what I mean? No one cares about your band more than you do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, these local bands with talent, they can be the most talented band in the country or in the world, but if they're just sitting in their, in their garage, playing their songs and, not getting out and sending CDs to, you, hint, hint, or other local show,
up north.
MPG has a local show, and
other stations.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get out. You got to get your CD out. You got to get out and be social as well. I mean, it's a big part of it. It's a big part of catching breaks or getting gigs. When I first moved to town, I didn't know anybody, and it's hard. It's hard to get ahead without knowing people. You know what I mean? So, hang out, get to know the other bands. Don't be jerks. You know what I mean? No one, there's no need to be, no need to be egotistical and I'm the best band or you're the best band. It's like, it's ridiculous to say stuff like that. You just, be friends with everybody. You know what I mean? Make it a social scene, make it fun. And you get gigs easier. People like you more. That's my advice,
And think out of the box. I think a lot of people get stuck around here, and it's great. And it's great to see these bands so much. But you know what? Got to get cooking down to Boston, kick it out to New York, Albany,
Think
Burlington.
globally, act locally.
Right. That's the other thing. I mean, what I was just speaking about is sort of up to a certain point. The other thing is you don't want to burn yourself out and play too much in town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's sort of our intent. We're trying to play out of town. We've been playing out of town a lot. We've played in town maybe twice, 2 or 3 times. But we've played out of town probably 10 or 11 times, New Hampshire and New York.
Not that we don't love Portland.
Yeah, I mean, it's our hometown, it's our family. But, just based on past experience, I mean, you can only see the same band, so many times before you've already seen it, Yeah. Someone pointed out to me once, it's like, you pick out your favorite band, right? How many times do you see your favorite band ever in your whole life? I mean, maybe, if you're some sort of fanatical kind of follow around kind of fan, you might see them a lot. But like your average person, pick a band that you love. You know what I mean? Deftones or whatever. How many times have you seen the Deftones? Once, twice?
I've seen Phantomus 9 times.
9 times. You're ruining my point here. My point is, you'll see a band, once or twice in your life, and you'll listen to their record 100, 200 times,
Yeah.
But a local band, it's sort of the opposite. You know what I mean? You'll see a band over the life of the band. You might see them 100, 200 times, and how many, at some point you might hear their record, but it's the opposite on a local scene. So you gotta, if you're thinking, you gotta think like all these other bands. You know what I mean? You don't want to play too much in town. It's just gonna wear out your welcome.
Well, to be contradictory, you guys are playing in town. You're playing in town tomorrow night.
Now.
Let's talk it up. Tomorrow night, you're going to be over at the Big Easy. It's a Lost on Liftoff CD release party with the mighty Twisted Roots.
Yeah.
And a new vision. The guys from Ransom. This is their new project, and they're starting to really make some noise. So that's going to be a good night tomorrow night. That's over at the Big Easy. That's 21 plus, and that's going to be a huge show in town tomorrow night. Saturday night, you guys will be down in Manchester at the Spider Room for a show there with Cosades as well, and Daisy Cutter. So that will be cool on Saturday, the 4th. Next week, you guys will be heading out to Albany on Friday. Yep. That would be the 10th? What are we talking about? 10th. And with the Hudson Duster in Troy, actually, is it?
Troy.
In Troy. So busy stuff. People can check you guys out, lostonliftoff.com, MySpace Lost on Liftoff. You guys get the Pure Volume thing going on. Holy crap.
We just started
going on, man.
The MySpace thing we've had up since June, but the Pure Volume thing we've sort of been ignoring. I think we had on MySpace we might have had 8,000 or 9,000 listens on our on our music player. On Pure Volume, I think we had 50. Everyone. No, we didn't. We didn't. We really haven't been pushing Pure Volume, but we've recently updated it, so it looks good.
Looks good. Pictures look good too. We'll talk about the picture taker in a little while here too, because I want to put out a call about this cat's guitar that we got to find. But also, most importantly, the CD's in stores now. It's the EP. It's a debut from Lost on Liftoff. And as usual, I always got to make sure that things are all clear and there's no funny business. I appreciate being able to put this out with you guys and being a part of this thing. I kind of have to come clean and say these things on the air so that I'm not sneaking it by people subliminally, but I appreciate you guys allowing me to team up with you. So that's in stores where you buy music right now. Of course, 40 Miles is your number one song, the top 5 at 5. As a friend, as part of this thing, and I think more importantly, though, just as a local music fan, congrats, guys. This is fantastic stuff.
Thanks, man.
This
and
is
thanks everybody who calls in and requests it.
Yeah, people are digging it.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's incredible.
Well, awesome. Well, should we fire up one more?
Yeah.
This is actually Spanky, the Rock and Roll Monkey, who's on the afternoon. This is his favorite track
You all
off
have
of the
different
record.
favorites here.
Jeez, you know?
When I was in on Monday,
Yeah.
everybody was coming up there like, I love this song.
I love this song.
It's cool.
It's a good thing, huh?
Yeah.
Well, let's fire this up. From Lost on Lift. And hey, once again, good evening to Nick and to Shifty out there as well.
Hi, guys.
Hey now.
They'll be in town to rock it tomorrow night. And I think Nick said he was going to take over lead vocals on at least 2 or 3 of the songs. But I don't know. We'll have to
And
see about
special
that.
guest Charlie will be here as well.
And and hello to Mr. Ordway as well too. We got to give him
Yes.
a big hello, unless he's making dinner. I don't know.
Or dropping off CDs to record stores.
Yeah. Goodbye Summertime is the lead-off track on the EP Lost on Liftoff. Shane, Walt, thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
94 WCYY, Spin Out.
Thank you.
Take me apart by bolt and screw. Keep on poking holes in my spacesuit.
94 WCYY, Spinout.